Namaskar, I am Dr. Shrikant Watwe. I am giving you the videos about my visit to the Italian cities. The first video was on Rome. Now the second video is on Florence. So from Rome, we took a train. The train had quite a good speed and we reached Florence in the afternoon. Now in Florence, what we had according to the plan given to us by our tour organizer, that is Samarth Holidays or Ratnadeep Tolkar, was that on that evening we will have a city tour, and the next day the tour will be outside Florence and taking some places outside the city. So that was the plan that was given to us. Accordingly, from the Florence Central train station, we came to our hotel. We checked in, and a bus or a car came to collect us at about 2:30. So at 2:30 we went into the car. The car took us to a place where there was a bus, and then we started the bus tour. There were some 30-35 people with us. The first thing what they did was that they took us to a Tuscan Roman village. It was on a hill. I have given one or two photos of that hill. I could see the city from that part. Then Erne Valley, then Lugerno, Basilica di Santa Croce, which is in the city, Piazza Signoria, which is again in the city, and the most important is Uffizi Gallery, which we can never forget when we go to Florence. So this Uffizi Gallery is one of the main attractions in Florence because it contains paintings by reputed persons, and there are statues outside the gallery itself which have been very old and beautiful statues are there. Inside also there are many statues. So when we went to the hilltop, we could see the old distillery type. Then there were many things that we could see. We could see the library. So that library, we could not go inside, of course, there was no time. But from the hill view, they showed us the river, the two sides, left side and right side of the river, what is there on one side, what is there on the other side, and all those things. So we saw all those things from the top. Then we came down from the hill. It was a good hill ride. Then we went to Santa Croce. So this Santa Croce, which is filled with churches and mausoleum, is that particular area. So we could get into that. Then there is a tomb of Gelato, Gabretti. All these fellows have been having their memento, or you can say mausoleum that has all those things. Then we went to Piazza del Signoria. Then Alza Viceno hours. The bus took us inside the center of city, and then we could see that we were in an area where the bus could not go, but the guide took us inside, and then the guide showed us the Michelangelo's sculptures that have been made, kept there. Then statue of Hercules, Cassius, and there are many things there. There are many statues. I have given a photo which contains a fountain. There are statues, and all those things are there. Then there is a very big square. There is a Neptune's fountain there. Then the wall of Uffizi has beautiful finishing from outside, because now it was first thing used as a royal residence or royal control system that has now been converted into this particular museum. So we went inside the museum. The collection is absolutely beautiful. Then I think I have given a lot of photos of the paintings, the sculptures that we could see, and the many places that are there inside. It takes quite a lot of time to see this particular museum. It is a very big museum. From the museum on one side, they showed us a bridge. That bridge connects the left part and the right part of the city. So the kings used to go to the other part using this particular bridge. There are goldsmiths and their you can say workplace. Then there are some monuments on that particular bridge. Of course, we could not walk the entire bridge because it was already late in the evening. So we just walked in that area. Then we came to the Piazza del Repubblica, and then there were many things there to eat. So we took the specific Florence specialties of the food, taking the food, moving in the cell city of the city center and all those. We walked to our hotel. The next day, the tour was very early. We were to reach the railway station by 7:35. So we started from our hotel. We reached the railway station at proper time. Then there was a big bus. So we were in the bus, and that bus took us first to the Pisa. Pisa Tower, very famous Pisa Tower, leaning Pisa Tower, they say. The first place we went was Pisa Tower. I have given lot of photos of that area. There is a church, then there is a memento, then there is this particular Pisa Tower which is leaning. So there are many beautiful buildings in that area. The reason for that was that it was built on a marshy land initially, and after two floors they came to know that it is leaning, but then still the construction was managed in such a way that the balance is shifting towards the non towards the safer side. So doing all that, we could see the entire Pisa from outside. We did not go inside because the time given to us was less. So we moved in that area. We had a good time there. And from there, we were taken to the next place, and that is San Gimignano. This is a small walled town. There were almost 70 towers, 70 to 72 towers, similar to Bologna. The question is that the number of towers that are remaining now is 14. It is on a hilltop. So when you go to the hilltop, you start walking, you have got a path to follow. We go to a center at the top. It is a beautiful center. Then we can see the grape fields on the slopes, and there are many vineyards. So later on we went to this vineyard also. So there is a famous gelato there, ice cream you can say, they sell. There was a big rush there. So I have given quite a good number of photos of this San Gimignano, which was on the top of the hill. And there are 17 to 18 towers that are still there. So we could see all those. And then there is a big circle. There is a church on one side. Then this being a strategic position in the trading line, they used to collect taxes from the whatever the traders were taking, and they were very rich. So the height of the tower was depending upon the richness that the person has. So from there we came down, and they stopped us at a winery. So it was a wine tasting experience. They told us that what is the specialty of this area. Tuscany wine it is called as. So we just had a good you can say taste of this wine, and they gave some food. Of course, we took only vegetarian part, we did not take the non-vegetarian part. So we had some small food there, and then from there they took us to a place called as Siena. This Siena is famous for paleo run. This paleo run has been shown in James Bond movies also. Then this particular place, in its surrounding there are villages, or you can say small places, from where the paleo or the horse races are conducted, for which they participate. So there is a center in which these particular things run once a year. It is a very big event, and whoever wins the race has got the right to get into the Duomo di Siena. It is very famous Duomo. I have given quite a good number of photos. So that team has that particular banner in its hand, and then it has the right to go inside. So that is winning a race is one of the great things there. So there is always a competition. Of course, when we went there, the competition had been already completed, but it is a particular season in which this horse races take place. Now, there is one interesting thing in this Siena. This Siena has one of the oldest bank in this area, or you can say in the world, you can say. So we were just there near the particular bank itself. There was a beautiful car. We have taken the photo of the car also. So we were there. There were some carvings on the top. So we saw all those things. We were then walking towards the Duomo di Siena, a beautiful street. So small streets are there, and then we can walk totally across the things. So there are museums there. There are painting sculptures there inside this particular church, and there are many places to see around. Of course, we were given the time in which we were supposed to complete, so we just completed the things. It was a very long day tour. By the time we reached back, it was almost 8:50. So a lot of time had taken from morning 7 to evening 8. So it was almost more than 12 hours tour. So we were back to our hotel. We took rest because the next day we were supposed to go to the next place, and that is Venice. So for that, I thank all of you for listening and seeing the video. Do like and subscribe, and thank you again for viewing. Thank you.